Well, here we go. Last day of the year, last day of 2023, and we're continuing on our 200 drawing prompt book. Today's drawing prompt is 148, something imaginary. And this is what we came up with. Tom Hanks and his imaginary friend, Wilson. And if you haven't seen the movie, it's not going to make any sense to you. Let's get started. I got all these pictures on my phone of Tom Hanks and Wilson, and that's what I'm using to discover what Wilson looks like. I can blow it up, and that's what I'm drawing in now. Picture of Wilson. I thought that Castaway movie was one of, it's my least favorite of the Tom Hanks movies I've seen. I didn't watch all of them. I didn't watch like the Da Vinci Code movies or any of that stuff. I mean, I don't mind fantasy movies because I like Star Trek and that kind of stuff, but I don't like those conspiracy theory movies. But anyway, I didn't like Castaway. It was just I thought the idea was good, but they didn't. I didn't understand the ending, or I didn't appreciate the ending. Whatever the case may be, I didn't get it. I didn't. It's like the movie never ended or something. I mean, this guy's been on an island for I don't know what it was. Was it a year, 2 years? And then he just drives out in the country and delivers that package. I didn't get it. What I'll probably do with this volleyball, or Wilson, is I'll probably, since it's a white ball, I think I'm going to go over it with ink. But I don't think I'll put any ink on the Wilson's face. Kind of putting the stitching in, and I was trying to get everything to line up here. The nose is right at the center. It's the fill valve for the ball. It's black. Then the eyes line up with one of the panels here, and the mouth lines up with the other panel. And the face is then smeared. Trying to get trying to get Tom Hanks here drawing this scraggly beard is interesting. think what I'll do on the scraggly beard is I'll probably just kind of color it in brown and gray and black, and then I'll put the scragglies put the scragglies in behind it. I found this picture on the internet on my phone. It's he's a little older here, but I want to get the color of his eyes. Looks like they're blue-green. And that furrowed brow, I think, is an identifying feature. And so I got the furrowed brow here. And he's got this deep line in his face, some bags under his eyes. We'll try a little blue in his eyes. And then put some black in the for the pupils. Gotta make sure those pupils are small because he's outside in the sun. Small detail, I know. And then I'll circle the iris with some black. I gotta really be careful here because this ink won't erase. So once you commit, it's hard to change anything. I'm just putting a hint of pink in there. I'm putting some of this beige in here just for highlights. And make sure the hair has something behind it. I think the hair in this pose is really the star. My guess is that to get all these curls and straggliness, he probably they probably, you know, wore some hair pieces and stuff. Kind of just putting the background in here a little bit. I just gotta, you know, I'm drawing the individual scraggly parts, but I need a background for them to come out of. You know what I mean? Now what I'm doing is adding some color called burnt dark umber. I don't know what umber is, but it's dark. You really had a deep suntan on that in the movie. So I'm gonna darken his skin up a little bit. Well, what we'll do now is work on Wilson. The plan is I'm going to go over the volleyball with ink, because it's white. I want it to shine as white as I can make it, and then we'll draw Wilson in with red paint. Now what I'm going to do here, remember we did the Michael Jackson dark alley portrait? We colored in all the bricks with ink, and they popped out too much. And I'm afraid if I draw the stitching in, you can see the stitching here. And if I draw that stitching in, it's going to come to the foreground too much. So I'm going to just leave the ink, or leave the penciled in stitching, but I won't cover it with ink. So it'll just be a lot more subtle. Making this look like a smudge turned out to be harder than I thought. If we were using paint, we could just sort of, you know, it would be analogous. You know, I just got to thinking, there's probably people that haven't seen this. Probably, I know there has to be people that haven't seen this movie. In the movie, Tom Hanks is a works for UPS or FedEx or one of those big outfits, and you know, he's a hard charging guy and all that stuff, and he's riding in a delivery plane overseas, and the plane blows up and crashes into the ocean. So he's castaway on a desert island, and everybody else in the plane is killed. Well, he has to survive in that on that desert island, and it kind of gets to him. He goes about half nuts, but he finally adjusts and makes a big physical transformation. Start of the movie, he's 220 pounds, and it's like a normal person. And by the end of the movie, he's slimmed down to about 140 pounds, lost a tremendous amount of weight, and he invents an imaginary friend called Wilson, because it says Wilson across the back of the ball, and it becomes his companion. He talks to it and everything else. And in the end of the movie, well, he's on a raft, and he loses Wilson. And from about then on in the couldn't figure it out. I didn't know. Couldn't figure out what was going on. It's got some really dark red places on his face here. I'm going to use a different color red, darker red here, to get that contrast. Changed my mind on these stitches. I'm going to put this kind of a hint of the stitches. I need the stitches for the mouth, because the stitches go right through his mouth. So what I'll do is I'll just take my just a suggestion of stitches. Okay, to get to make some of these lights work, I'm going to add some black ink in the hair. Just got to make sure I start the hair to the right of his forehead there. It's got to look like it's coming out of the back of his head. I got Tom done here. I'm not real satisfied with Wilson. My red's not red enough, so I'm gonna go over some of my red pencil with this red ink. Well, that does it for drawing prompt 148. We got Tom Hanks and his Castaway makeup. And we have Wilson, his imaginary friend. Okay, let's see what we come up with for tomorrow. What does that say? Baseball diamond. Okay, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.